In this video, I'll be showing you how to remove and replace your timing cover, timing chain, and water pump on your 97 Grand Cherokee ZJ 5.2 liter V8 small block engine. Now, since I've already got the water pump removed, leaving the bolts in place where they should be for now, I'm going to go ahead and actually remove the bolts holding this pulley in place that's right in front of our harmonic balancer. Let me go ahead. That is a 13mm socket, I do believe. Let's try. There's a number of them around that main 1.5-inch nut that you use to actually turn the crank if you want. So let's see. I don't believe they're on there with too much force. You'll end up turning the crank, but if you just get it at the right spot and pull up, there you go. Get it loosened. Besides the bolts holding the water pump on, which this one and this one here are also what go into the block to hold the timing chain cover on. There are a couple of other ones around that I haven't gotten to yet and I'm not really too sure of at the moment. They seem to be nuts on threaded bolts, so I'm really not too sure exactly how I'm meant to tackle them. But we will find out together. But as our first bolt out of the pulley, and there's really no reason to mark these, honestly. Let's see about this pulley. This genuinely does not want to come off. So I was just testing it out. I had WD-40 on between the pulley and the harmonic balancer all night. And I was just testing it out, just trying to break it off really quick, and it fell off. So yeah, just if you're having issues like I did with the harmonic balancer pulley stuck to the harmonic balancer, yeah, just have some WD-40, PB Blaster, liquid wrench soaking between the two all night, and it'll come free. All right, I'm gonna remove that. And now what we're gonna do next is remove that 1.5-inch bolt, which is securing the harmonic balancer to the crankshaft. And yeah, we're gonna then remove the harmonic balancer, so then we can remove the timing chain cover. Very fun. Let's grab our pulley. It's kind of fell, I didn't want it to fall. It looks okay. All right, we got it off. Put this somewhere safe. We're just gonna take impact with a 1.5-inch socket, get it right up on here, on our bolt, and just break her loose. And that's it. In the Haynes manual, it says you should actually remove the starter and have someone stick a wrench up in there or a screwdriver up in there to stop the crank from moving. We did not do that. We were able to break this loose pretty easily, actually. And now, with this hefty bolt out of the way, we're gonna get our harmonic balancer puller, which I've rented from AutoZone, and try to get that off. Ever so closer to getting to our timing chain cover and then our timing chain. All right, and with this kit from AutoZone that we've rented, we're gonna go ahead. We've got our, I had that threaded in there pretty decently already. Well, we have our pressure screw with the 3 screws that will go through the web into the balancer with our pressure tip. So let's go ahead. Before we tighten this down, and after we have these tightened into the harmonic balancer, we're gonna go ahead and just lube this up. I have a little bit of a all-purpose red grease. We'll go and lube it up a bit. so it doesn't want to bind. But we're gonna go ahead right now and just get these worked in. Make sure these threads are even and this is on nice and snug. It's in there pretty decently. I want the threads to be even so it's pulling, you know, as straight as possible. Now that we have our puller on our harmonic balancer and tightened in, we're gonna get a 3/4 inch socket on our ratchet and we're gonna tighten. It's definitely pulling it. And there we go. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. And that is our harmonic balancer. Oh, it smells like burnt, burnt charred stuff. All right, cool. Harmonic balancer is removed. With our harmonic balancer pulley and the balancer itself removed, you can see we are ever closer to getting our timing cover off. The next thing is going to be to remove, there's a bolt down here that we'll be removing, as well as 2 right here. And after that, we actually have to remove 2 bolts from the front of the oil pan. You could see they actually mount up into the timing cover right there and 1 right there. Once we get those bolts removed, we'll be able to take our timing cover off, inspect, and change out our timing chain, as well as our front seal. We got 2 of those bolts out. 1 more is there, but what I'm doing now is the oil pan bolts in the front. That's a 13mm socket. You can see the timing cover is already moving. And timing cover, or this one. How many did I keep threaded? That's the answer. Oh, this one's still threaded. There we go, there we go. Okay. Did I rip the gasket? Doesn't look like I did. Oh, leave these bolts in. Here's our timing cover. Wow, our oil pan gasket did not rip. That's awesome. So we can clean it up and we can reuse that. We have our timing chain. That's definitely getting replaced right now. And our oil pan lip at the bottom there, the gasket's fully intact. It's got a lot of oil around it, so something's leaking here, but it saved my gasket from ripping. Look at this. We've got the entire top end of our engine taken apart, as well as the timing chain exposed, replacing all that today. And once I get this cleaned up, I'm going to show you guys some of the new parts that I got to, you know, freshen this up. Let's see how much slack. Oh, yeah. I think this is not tight enough. I think this is a lot of slop. So, well, we're replacing it anyways. So that's great. Good stuff. It's like kind of on, there we go. It sits on the oil pan gasket. That is our timing cover gasket. Off, all in one piece, and it looks in pretty good shape. Over here, definitely deteriorating. Not as bad on this side. Overall, in good condition. We're replacing it anyways. While we have the whole top of the engine off, I am going ahead and replacing the oil pressure sending unit, which is the oil pressure sensor, because it is in such a tight space back here. I'm using an adjustable wrench because I'm pretty sure if you had a 28mm wrench, you'd be able to get this off. Biggest I have is 26. I'm just gonna ease it on out now. All right, we got our old oil pressure sending unit out. Looks good, looks okay, but we're replacing it anyways. So this is our old sending unit right here, our old sensor. And we got the nice brand new one off of Rock Auto. This is, I believe, Standard is the brand of this one. I usually go with Walker, but this one I went with Standard. No rhyme or reason, I just did. I ended up today picking up some Scotch-Brite pads in order to do some cleaning. Wipe that down with a microfiber cloth, get anything and everything that's over here right now. When taking apart an engine fully like this and cleaning out all the ports for coolant and oil, that's why you're going to only run that coolant and oil in that engine once it's back together for, I mean, I'm probably just gonna do 100 miles, and then I'm gonna do a full flush of both oil and coolant. So we get nice, fresh coolant and oil in there, with also getting all the particles that end up falling down into the block out. Take our new oil pressure sending unit. She's threading right in. I honestly couldn't tell you what the foot-pounds are for this, if there even is. All I know is it was nice and snug. And I'm gonna make her a little bit more than snug, but make it good, make it perfect. That's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go ahead, tighten her up. I'll want it tightens to where the notch, that notch right there, is facing towards me, because that is exactly how the cable was oriented for the last one. I don't think I want it any more tighter than this, because it feels pretty darn tight. And yeah, there's not much more thread on it. So we're gonna leave it right there. And now we've just installed our brand new oil pressure sending unit. And here's our old one, a little crusty, a little gross, nice and new. So while inspecting the timing chain cover, I noticed, if you could probably see it here, there's a lot of cracks and pitting just in this here where the water pump mounts. Also, even on the top, a lot of cracks on the top of the cover, and then on the inside as well. A lot of cracks. I've tried to test to see if these leak. That is currently inconclusive, but being that it looks so bad, especially like right here, you see that? All these little micro cracks in this. Kind of didn't want to reinstall this. So I've gone ahead and ordered one off of Amazon. It's a Dorman brand. It came pretty quick, like within a day. You can see nice and brand new, no cracks. There's some just manufacturing blemishes, but it is fairly smooth. No cracks on top. No cracks in the back. Just some scratches in there. Once again, probably from manufacturing, but in my mind, looks good to me. A lot of people in the reviews of this one, they complain that this extra hole is here that needs to be plugged. And luckily enough, our stock timing chain cover has this exact hole with a plug already installed. So we'll be putting it in this one. So new timing chain cover, which we'll be installing after we do our timing chain replacement. So today we're gonna go ahead and replace our timing chain, the gears, the sprocket, as well as a new gasket around here and a new timing chain cover, finalized with a new water pump on the front. So in order to do that, we got a few things. First off, I have this Felpro set of new gaskets. It's got a new gasket for the timing cover, crankshaft front seal. We got a new harmonic balancer sleeve in here, new water pump, just some odds and ends. We'll open that up and see what's in here. It's a new Cloy's timing chain and sprocket and gear here for the camshaft and crankshaft. We've got a new water pump and fan clutch all in one, ready to go. So we're gonna be installing all of these today. We're gonna go ahead with a 5/8 inch socket here on our camshaft up top. And let's see, I don't think I think this might allow me to loosen it up. Let's try. So I'm going to say this right here. Don't listen to my advice. I'm going to take an impact on our camshaft bolt up top. I did this with the crank. Let's try it with the cam. There it goes. And that allowed, this actually worked. So that allowed us to remove our camshaft bolt without moving the camshaft or the crankshaft. It has not, neither have moved. And both of these are keyed. So let's watch now. We're gonna go ahead to remove our, let's see here. First, can we remove the chain? No, we gotta remove one of the sprockets. In the Haynes manual, you're either gonna have a puller tool or 2 screwdrivers. So one's a screwdriver here and one is a trim pry tool. And I'm gonna use both of these. Oh, so easy. Don't even need a puller on this one. Don't even need a puller. But let me now put some pressure. I had pressure there and it moved. Look at that. It's just coming right off. Don't even need a pull. Oh, look at that. Easy. So, there we go. Now, we've got our old sprocket, and you can see there, it is keyed. So, we should have no issue putting our new sprocket in place for the cam. Now for the crank, we're going to do the same thing. Here's our old chain. It did have some slop in it. I'm not going to toss these. I'll save them because what else am I going to do? But now we're going to make sure, same with down here. Let's just, this one might be a little trickier. This one looks like it's on there pretty decently. No. We had some movement. I think it's got to be from this side now. But I ain't got no leverage. Ah, jeez. Not just no leverage, I ain't got no room. It feels like it has to come loose from this side now, and I just don't know if this is right. It was right. That was right. The block looks good. The mating surface looks good. That's all I care about. I'm happy. I'm happy with how that went. This thing was on there pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, now we're doing a whole new cam sprocket, crank sprocket, and timing chain. All right, so now, as we're going to be installing our brand new timing chain gears and timing chain, I have them laid out here. The deep sides right here are what face the block. So we're gonna start with our camshaft timing gear. Now with this, something to note is that you wanna make sure before we removed all that, that these timing marks, this dot right here and this dot right here, are supposed to align. That means that piston number 6 right there, cylinder 6, is at top dead center, and we can see that it is. So before we put this all together with the chain, I'm gonna make sure that, I already know before I took them off, they were marked, but I'm gonna make sure that they're marked before we close this all up, that they line up rather. So we're gonna go ahead and it lines up with our keyway. Obviously this could move so much, but the small gear won't. So we can make sure that these are lined up when we put the smaller sprocket on. Looks to be fully seated to me. I'm gonna loosen it now because I just want it to fully seat the sprocket like this. Now I want to loosen it because we're gonna put some thread locker on. And with that, I'm gonna want to clean these threads up a little. I cleaned the threads in the camshaft because at the end of this, we're going to be installing that bolt with a little bit of medium thread locker on it. So I cleaned the bolt, I cleaned the threads. We want that thread locker to stick just a bit. We're going to go ahead and take our crankshaft gear now. Timing mark is there, and this should just slip right on, and we got a little bit of, damn, it really is. There's definitely resistance there, and it wants to be pressed. It wants to be pressed on. Let's try this again. The Haynes manual says don't force it, that it'll eventually go on, but I don't know about that. Okay, so I may or may not have just burnt my fingers in the process of what I just attempted, but I just took a really hot heat gun to our crank sprocket for about 5 straight minutes. It is smoking whatever oil that I had on it, so that's a good sign. It is absolutely smoking, and we're gonna try. That worked! Oh my goodness, that worked. I think before it cools down though, oh geez, before it cools down, we need to get it fully. I was not prepared. I was not prepared for this. I put the hot crank, the hot gear on the cold. I should have really pressed it on. You know, it was smart until it wasn't, and it wasn't when I stopped having the heat applied to it. Oh, what a mistake. Genius idea, because I'm a genius. You see this? This is the extension tube for a shop vac. My shop vac, one of 2 only extension tubes I have. Let's see. See how it fits right over? We've got a little bit to go. And it's making its way on. I think right there is fully seated. I'm gonna get the chain on with the camshaft sprocket, and I'm gonna make sure these lined up. I didn't have a big enough socket, so I used my shop vac. I sacrificed the extension tube. Thank you. Now, we'll go ahead. That's not aligned. That is aligned. And you can tell it's aligned because it fit. It just went on so perfectly. Look how much less, there is no chain slop. That is normal chain. No slop anymore. And now I just want to see, with it torqued to 50 foot-pounds, see how it turns. Turns pretty good. Turns very good, actually. Yep, we're lined up. Timer marks are lined up. We are good with our camshaft. All right, and look at this. All right, let's oil this up. I currently don't have any fresh engine oil on me. I do have a bunch of used 5W30 from my Wrangler, which does have very good used oil stats. If you haven't seen my my oil analysis video, I highly recommend you do so. But point is, I am not too concerned with using this to lubricate our chain, honestly, because even though it's used engine oil, it's only been used for 5,000 miles, and it is pretty absent of a lot of contaminants. our chain. Let me remove this gasket before doing this. And then I'll have to clean the gasket surface before we apply the gasket. We're gonna go ahead and just coat our chain so it's not dry, right? We definitely should not be dry starting this chain at all. And I'm gonna crank this, I'm gonna rotate this just a little bit to make sure that this is distributed among the chain and the sprockets. So once again, we're just lubricating. I'm trying not to get any of this on our mating surfaces for the gasket. Just where the sprockets and chain is. Let's get a little bit more. Now our brand new chain and sprockets are lubed. Go one more turn. Super cool watching these pistons go. Super cool. Turns smooth, it sounds smooth. I am super happy with this engine right now. I'll be happier when it runs. Perfect. Lined up exact. All right. New chain, new sprockets, oiled, installed, ready for the gasket. We've got our gasket here. It is a metal gasket. What we're going to do, let me just lay it here, is we're going to get sealant. Let's see. I just want to go around and coat this on the back side. I don't want to put too much. Just enough that it sticks, that it stays, and to prevent any possible leaks. We've got RTV sealant on our gasket. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do on the bottoms, because that's where it's going to really be pressed down, to our oil pan gasket. So let's go ahead with our RTV. We're going to place this down. Okay. And here we're going to have to get it on in, just like that. Okay. That's looking really good. I'm going to put RTV in the literal corners as well. Okay. And RTV down here. And now, from what I've seen and what I've been told, we're going to go on this side as well. If I'm doing it wrong, oh well. I'll find out. I'll find out when it leaks, you know? But the Haynes manual said, put it on both sides. And I cleaned up the timing cover bolts yesterday. So we're going to go ahead and let me take a few of them. We're going to go ahead and install our new timing cover. Okay. I think that's... Oh. Yeah. I think that's exactly how it has to be. It looks like it's on there to me. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. We're ever so close to getting our timing cover installed. That won't work. This one will. Here's our brand new water pump. We will install it as such. It's gonna go like this. And then those bolts will all go in here. I want the top of this clamped, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead without making too much of any problem here. Make sure we got our clean gloves. Okay. This is our new gasket for our water pump. Gone ahead and I've got the gasket on our water pump here with some RTV. Don't tell me it's too much, I don't care. And we're gonna go place this in its rightful spot and start getting our appropriate bolts in place. You can all tell me how I use the wrong RTV, how it's gonna leak. Don't know, don't care. I'll find out when it happens. These are 14 mil. I want my ratcheting 14 mil. I don't want to tighten that down too much. I want this to have some wiggle room for the rest of the bolts. Okay. This one goes here. No, no, no. That one doesn't. This one goes here. There we go. See? You're able to kind of decipher what bolts end up going where, really. And just like that, I'm gonna torque these down to spec, but we have all of our bolts attaching our new timing cover and new water pump to our block. Just making sure that we are snug all around. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get these torqued. So now, as you can see, we have successfully installed our new timing chain, cam and crank sprockets, along with a brand new timing cover and brand new water pump. It's pretty late now, so I'm gonna leave it here, but tomorrow I'll be installing our front seal before putting our harmonic balancer and pulley back on. And from there, I'm probably gonna go right to the heads, honestly. I actually have brand new push rods coming tomorrow, so I think there I'll go right to the heads, do the head gaskets and the intake manifold gaskets, and get that all started. We're putting this back together. We are getting this running this weekend, I hope. I mean, it's Thursday now. I'm hoping by Sunday it's running, but we'll see. Goodness gracious. All right. Very good. Very, very good. One day at a time, right? One day at a time. And before I call it a night, I'm doing 30 foot-pounds on all of these bolts for the timing cover and for the water pump as per the Haynes manual. It calls for 30 foot-pounds for all timing chain cover bolts. And I've already got them all tightened up. Just doing some good measure checking. And lastly, we need a 14 mil crow's foot for that right there. I needed them for something a while ago, and now I need them for something again. That's why it's nice buying tools, especially when you think you don't need them only once. No, you always eventually need them again. Okay. This should be 30 foot-pounds. Perfect. All right, I'm gonna call it a night. And yeah, I'll continue tomorrow. This is awesome.